There are a lot of Americans who are losing money, missing opportunities, and making ill-informed decisions based off misinformation. These issues can be minimized and in some cases avoided altogether by learning how to educate yourself and how to do your own research. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do in this video. Let's check out this clip from the June 27th, 2024 presidential debate.
He had the largest national debt of any president in a 4-year period, number one. Number two, that $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America. And what's happening? They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 billion, I should say, in a 10-year period.
Guys, we being had. We being had because we'll believe anybody that tell us anything with a doggone suit on. If you look professional and you got to know what you're talking about, right? And wrong. And we got all this technology out here to do our own research, and we won't do it. So at the end of that video, he said that it's going to take 10 years to raise $500 billion with his debt plan of raising taxes on the wealthy. How long is a presidential term? A presidential term is 4 years. So if it's going to take 10 years to do what you got planned, and this is what he's saying during running for his next 4-year term. So this plan is going to take 3 presidents, 2.5 if you want to be specific. But it's going to take 3 presidents to play out. 4, and 2 add up to 10. He said it's a 10-year plan to pay down this debt. And then he said it's going to raise $500 billion. For you to know that this don't make no sense, you have to know what the national debt is now. So the U.S. national debt at the time of this video is $34,914,357,000,000 and counting. I'm not even going to try to get down to the thousands. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can look that up at your convenience whenever you want at usdebtclock.org. So based on what we just saw and that debt plan, the debt is accumulating way faster than that plan will ever hope to bring in. Basic math. He said his plan to fix taxes is to raise taxes on the rich. This is the thing that poor people don't understand, that rich people actually have down pat. And all it is the way that we thinking. So poor people think in cash and rich people think in assets. Now there's a reason why they do this. Rich people don't have cash. They don't have money. A poor person think that sounds crazy. They're like, man, what are you talking about? They rich. What do you mean they don't have money? Listen to me. They don't have money. That's what you get taxed on. You don't get taxed on what you have as far as material things. You get taxed on the cash. And you get taxed on the cash based on how you earn it. A person that has an employee mindset or a person that's poor, they're working. They're exchanging their time for money to earn money. So they call it earned income. Guess how they tax that? They tax you up front. They take the taxes out before you even get the check if you work a job. So you end up getting what's left over after they take out the taxes. In a business, it's actually the opposite. What do you mean? I'm glad you asked. So in that situation, the government gets whatever's left over. After the business earns whatever it earns, the business gets an opportunity to reinvest as much as they can back into the business. Whatever they don't spend on the business, they have to pay that in taxes. That's why businesses and wealthy people don't really pay taxes. Now, I know this doesn't sound fair, so I'm explaining why this is fair. They not getting away with nothing. Yes, they are. They getting away with not paying taxes. No. Remember the rule. The rule is you get taxed on money you keep. If they spent it, they don't have the money no more. So think about it like playing hot potato. If I got the money and I know I'm going to get taxed on it and I give it to you, I'm not broke because I gave the money to you. I got something for the money I gave to you. But I need to make sure that whatever I give you this money for retains its value. Whatever I give you this money for has to hold value. If I give you money and I buy something that doesn't hold value, then it is like I gave it away. And that's what most poor people do. Poor people end up spending money on stuff that doesn't retain value. Lottery tickets, clothes, trips, food, certain vehicles. Like if it's not a work vehicle or something that's going to bring in some type of revenue, you're throwing money away with certain vehicles. Lavish houses and stuff that they're actually living in. They're not renting them out. They living in them. So this is actually a liability. It's not an actual asset. So that's all that's happening. Same money, different game. Let me go a little bit further about no money, no taxes. If I owned a business, and we're going to keep it real simple, because I hate how they complicate this stuff and it's not really complicated. So I'm going to keep this simple. We're not going to talk about what the business own and how many employees they got. We're not going to talk about none of that. All we're going to talk about is imagining that this business earned $1 million in a year. If that business earned $1 million, and we're going to assume that that's all the business is worth, the business is worth $1 million, and that's just the money it earned. If that business held that $1 million, it would have to pay roughly 30% as an estimate, 30% in taxes. So that would leave that business with $700,000 after paying $300,000 in taxes, right? But if that same business bought $1 million building with that $1 million, then it wouldn't have to pay any taxes. Why? It don't have the money no more. It gave it to somebody else. Whoever get caught with that money, they have to pay the taxes on that $1 million. So let's say the person they bought the building from, they kept that money. They end up paying the $300,000. So the government don't care because they still getting their tax money. Now you get it. Nobody's getting out of anything. The business now owns an asset, the building, that's still worth $1 million. So the business is still worth $1 million. But there's another thing that they can do. Well, what about cash? They don't have cash. Excellent question. So this is what the business does. Now the business goes out and they get a loan against the building that they purchased. So let's say the building was valued at $1 million. They take out a loan for $750,000. Now that same business took $1 million and turned it into $1.75 million. Same money, different decision. Now the business worth even more because they took out a loan. Yeah, but now they got debt. Don't worry about that. We about to get into the debt. How are you going to pay the mortgage? Glad you asked. Let's say that building has office space. It has different things that they can use to rent out and bring in revenue. Now the money they make from renting out space in that building or even renting out the building pays the mortgage. So they got $750,000 in cash and they own an asset, and the money coming in from the asset is paying for the mortgage. You don't have to pay taxes on a loan. I forgot to mention that earlier. It's not a taxable event. You didn't earn anything. You took out a loan. So all that's happening for the most part is that poor people, if you want to recognize is that, or just to get you to understand what I'm saying, it's not your actual financial state. It's your mental state. You just playing the wrong game. Don't get mad at the game. Find out how the game works, and then you play it. So why is this important? It's important because if you knew that's how it worked, then you know that they can't sit up here and tell you that they gonna raise taxes on the rich. It doesn't make a difference. You only get taxed on the money you keep. And there's another word that poor people don't understand or don't mention in their normal vocabulary when they talking about finance. And that's called net worth. Your net worth means your assets, your cash, everything added up together minus your debt. That's your net worth. So when he said we got 1,000 billionaires in the United States, do you think billionaires are sitting around with $1 billion in cash? If you do, you boo-boo the fool. I'm going to just tell you. I'm going to just tell you. If you do, you boo-boo the fool. They got $1 billion in assets. They got $1 billion in value in assets. You get taxed on cash. So raising taxes on them ain't going to make no difference. The economy grows because you're spending money. The government don't care where you spend it. They just want it to be spent. Remember that example earlier where if the business was keeping the $1 million, the government took 300,000. That's because the government gonna spend it. They like, okay, you not spending it, so we gonna spend it. That's all that means. So when you see a wealthy person go out and they buy a jet or they buy a fancy car or they buy a house, those are jobs. Those planes don't put themselves together for nothing. Them cars don't put themselves together for nothing. It's other things going on behind the scenes that go beyond that, that go behind that. So you need to understand how money works so they can't lie to you. So they just can't tell you anything. Now, before I ended up getting this knowledge from reading these books and finding out how stuff worked, it made sense to me. I'm like, yeah, they should just charge rich people more in taxes. Why are they making poor people pay more in taxes? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, it don't make sense and it don't sound fair. But once you understand how it actually works, then it makes absolute positively all the sense in the world. Employees don't create jobs. They apply for jobs. They don't create them. So why would you give more money or allow somebody to keep more money that isn't adding to the economy? That's why businesses get tax breaks, because they create jobs. They're not getting away with not paying no taxes. They just spending it. But they spending it in the right places. No money, no taxes. You get taxed on money. This is crazy, man. Like the stuff that we being told is based in our ignorance. They only able to get away with it because we don't know no better. And all it takes is a little bit of research and a little bit of reading. This is why I'm such an advocate of self-education. This is why I tell you, you should get a book. You should read it. You should work on your library. That's why I share with you guys the books that I'm reading, what I got in my library, what you need to check out, what you need to read, and showing you how to do research so you can see to back up what I'm talking about, because I know that our time is pressed. I know a lot of people is busy and all of that. So I'm more than happy because this is stuff I do anyway, because I want to know how it works, because that's the only way to improve. The only way to make sure you're on the right track is to learn how stuff works. Because if you learn how it works, you can compare what you're doing to how it worked. And then you can be like, wait a minute, that's exactly why my situation ain't getting no better. I'm doing the wrong thing. This is how it actually works. So since it worked this way, I need to do it a different way. That make all the sense in the world to me. So I appreciate you guys for checking out the channel today. I appreciate you for sticking around. Please like, subscribe, And comment below. Tell me what you think about the video. If there's any questions you have or anything on your mind, point it out to me. Let me know what you got from the debate. Let me know what you checking out. Let me know what you're reading. So you guys take care and God bless.